Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello, good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In a major story, a bomb explosion rips through the popular Monday market in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, killing 20 people, including the bomber, and injuring 18. Also in this program, former President Olusegun Obasanjo sends aside politics of bitterness, attends wedding of President Goodluck Jonathan's daughter. President of the Evangelical Church of West Africa, ECWA, Jeremiah Gadu, calls on the Enugu-based Catholic priest Ejike Baka to restrain himself from being a prophet of doom ahead 2050 general elections. Outside Nigeria, Indonesian Navy fighter retrieves tail of crushed Air Asia plane from seabed. Thank you for joining us on CoreTV Primetime News. We'll begin tonight as 20 persons, including a female suicide bomber, were killed in a major market in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, after an attack by a suspected Boko Haram set member on Saturday. The blast also injured 18, according to the police public relations officer of the Borno State Police Command, Gideon Jibrin. The incident, he added, occurred about 12:30 p.m. at a section of the Monday market. The market has become a target of the Boko Haram female suicide bombers, as the Saturday bombing marked the fourth time that the market will be attacked in the last 3 months. The death toll may, however, be higher, as aid and emergency agency workers were still busy evacuating the dead and the injured from the scene of the attack. The spokesman for National Emergency Management Authority, Abdul Kadri Ibrahim, said workers from the agency were at the market to render assistance but declined to give the casualty figure. The attack was at the Iyenkaji area of the market where chickens are sold. The defense headquarters say Nigerian troops have foiled Friday night's attempt by Boko Haram to capture Damaturu, capital of Yobe State. The terror group had attempted to capture the city in December, but the Nigerian troops beat them up. According to the defense headquarters, which announced a successful operation on Saturday through its Twitter handle, Boko Haram militants launched multiple attacks on the city, but soldiers on the ground warded them off. The terrorists launched massive attacks from different angles Friday night. Weapons including improvised explosive devices and rocket-propelled grenade launchers were captured, according to the defense headquarters. It added that while the number of dead terrorists and civilian casualties were still being compiled, it could confirm that 5 fatally wounded soldiers were being treated. Soldiers, in the words of the defense headquarters, have reinforced the town of Damaturu as pursuit of fleeing terrorists is ongoing. Now, the All Progressive Congress presidential campaign has asked President Goodluck Jonathan to address the nation on the massacre in Bagatan, which the Amnesty International has described as the single most deadly incident since the unfortunate insurgency started in the country. A statement from the Directorate of Media and Publicity of the APC presidential campaign on Saturday said that the PDP had dwelt so much on the issue of academic certificates of its candidate Muhammadu Buhari, while there are more pressing issues for the government controlled by the party to address. The statement added that while the PDP government has failed in its duty and responsibility to the citizens and the nation, the party has intensified effort to pull wool over the eyes of Nigerians. It is also claimed a leading member of the party, Governor Babangida Aliyu of Niger State, a few days ago informed Nigerians that in politics you must tell lies and called on Nigerians to take their cue from there. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo set aside his differences with President Goodluck Jonathan on Saturday to attend wedding of his foster daughter, Ine Barapu, and her husband, Simeon, at the National Christian Center, Abuja. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Enoch Adeboye, was also at the event. Obasanjo arrived to center with Andy Roba, a senator and his former aide on domestic affairs. He received a resounding applause from the congregation when he was introduced during the service. Jonathan also specially acknowledged Obasanjo's presence in his vote of thanks. Obasanjo had been very critical of Jonathan in the last 1 year and is believed to be aligned to the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, ahead of the 2015 elections. Apart from writing a very critical open letter to Jonathan last year, Obasanjo also came down heavily on Jonathan in his memoir, My Watch. And now the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday promised to end the spate of insecurity and revolutionize the economy if elected president in the February election. Buhari spoke at a rally held at Emayo's house, Akwa, where he addressed the people of Anambra State as part of a national campaign tour. He said he would improve public power supply to boost investment opportunities in places like Onitsha and Inewi, which form the bedrock of the economy of Southeast.
We intend, as a party, firstly to secure the country and then efficiently manage it. With the majority of you here, we have to quickly go back and empower agriculture, fishing, and then to make sure that the institutions, the educational institutions, are once more up to standard. There are classrooms, there are equipment, and there are qualified teachers. We also intend to make sure that the infrastructure is improved dramatically, especially power.
Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha will also address the rally debunk insinuation by some Buhari's opponents that he plans to make Islam a state religion when he becomes president.
We have searched around, we look up, we look down, we look sideways. We are looking for who can help our nation. Now, the way we chose our candidate and why we decided as Southeast to support the candidate is by checking of a track record. Today we have reviewed all the presidential candidates and we have found out there's one man amongst them who is distinguished in both conduct and character. A man of vision. A man whose name is synonymous with war against indiscipline. A man whose name is synonymous with fighting corruption. Let me say something about this man. General Buhari has no relationship with me. Neither does he have any relationship with most Nigerians. But one thing that unites us with General Buhari is the cause of the common man. It's the cause of the poor people. Now, let me tell you, I hear political propaganda that General Buhari would Islamize Igbos, Christians. Let me remind all of you, this man standing here was once a military general. He was a military head of state. He was one that wore the decorated with the laurels of a general. He had a decree in his hand, he had the powers in his hand. There was no day he Islamized Nigeria as a head of state. If he cannot do it then, as a military head of state, is now under democracy, with National Assembly, House of Assembly, with Ngige, with Obonyan, with Rochas. He will Islamize us.
Buhari was accompanied by Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, the national chairman of the APC, Chief John Odigi Oyegun. former Ekiti State Governor Shaguni and former Abia State Governor Ogbunaya Onu. And now, the APC presidential candidate was a day before in Abia State, also in the southeast, to continue his nationwide campaign. Buhari was welcomed to Abia's commercial hub of Aba Township by a large crowd of party supporters and chieftains, hailed the entrepreneurship spirit of the Igbo nation and promised that his government will provide the enabling environment if voted into power.
But for Aba in particular, this zone of Southeast in general, infrastructure in forms of power is absolutely necessary. You are known as an industrial hub of this country. The entrepreneurship of the Igbo nation is not in doubt, not only in Nigeria, but even outside Nigeria. To strengthen this is to make sure the government facilitate for the entrepreneurs in Aba to have constant, effective power, other communication, roads, drainage, control of erosion.
He also vowed to improve the lots of farmers in the southeast region through massive backing by the federal government as part of enhancing the nation's food sufficiency.
If we empower the farmers, we will import less rice because you are extremely hardworking. And whatever the federal government will do possible to empower you with capital and expertise and assured market, the government will do that because you are capable of paying back and improving on the investments. The main concern of APC is to make sure that there are no idle, capable, able-bodied person roaming the streets and becoming touts instead of productive citizens.
The president of the Evangelical Church of Africa, ECWA, Jeremiah Gado, on Saturday called on the Enugu-based Catholic priest, Ejike Mbaka, to restrain himself from being a prophet of doom. Speaking with journalists in Kaduna shortly after the inauguration of newly elected officials of ECWA, Kaduna Central District Church Council, Gado said God is never interested in bloodshed, and as such, men of God should strive to be prophets of hope over the general elections and other national issues. He prayed that what Mbaka said does not come to be true because God is not interested in bloodshed. Turning to members of the political class, the clergyman warned that they should not attempt to manipulate the will of the people in the February elections. It will be recalled that Mbaka had recently dismissed the possibility of President Goodluck Jonathan emerging winner in the forthcoming presidential election. He was also quoted to have said that even if Jonathan is elected, the country will be in turmoil. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. Ekiti APC lawmakers accuse police of complicity in the ongoing crisis at the State House of Assembly. Find out the position of the State Police Command on the development after this timeout. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News, and here is a quick reminder of our top stories if you're just joining us. bomb explosion rips through the popular modern market in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, killing 20 people, including a bomber, and injuring 18. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo set aside politics of bitterness, attends wedding of President Goodluck Jonathan's daughter. And President of the Evangelical Church of West Africa, ECWA, Jeremiah Gadu, calls on Enugu-based Catholic priest Ejike Baga to restrain himself from being a prophet of doom ahead 2015 general elections. For more details, you can also reach us on our social media platform, like our Facebook page is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News NG. And for our previous news production, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. And now the dust raised by the assassination attempt on the factional speaker and the leader of the APC lawmakers in Ekiti State House of Assembly, Adewale Omiri, is yet to settle. In a new twist, the APC lawmakers accused the State Commissioner of Police of taking side with Governor Ayodele Fayose to ignore petitions sent to him. The APC lawmakers also accused Fayose of stopping their salaries and using the police to protect their PDP colleagues. The governor and the police, however, denied the accusations. In this report by our correspondent Rashid.
Stemming from the drama that followed the assassination attempt on the life of Omiri, other APC lawmakers of the House have come out to accuse Fayose of using security apparatus in the state to harass them. The governor's spokesperson, Ido Adelusi, however, described the APC lawmakers as jokers.
Fayose told us in the last meeting that we had with him that if he decides to support those 7 that day, that 7 will turn out to become the majority with the support of the police and army and every power that he has. And that is what we are currently witnessing.
It is not true. The governor had only appealed to them to cooperate with him in the interest of Ekiti State.
The APC lawmakers also accused the Ekiti State Police Commissioner Taiwo Lakanu of complicity by sweeping their petitions under the carpet, an accusation denied by the state police boss.
You will write, you send it to me from either from Lagos or Sokoto, you want me to investigate, and you now complain that your matters are not being investigated. It's wrong.
He claimed to have rescued the Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly. Why didn't the Commissioner of Police bring out that particular petition for discussion between him and the Speaker?
Lakanu takes a swipe at the APC lawmakers for rebuffing all offers of protection by the police, as well as moves to come and defend their petitions. The APC lawmakers, however, disagreed with the State Police Commissioner.
We have written to him, and we strongly believe that the only thing he's supposed to do is just to go there and dislodge this element.
Those who are away, it's not my problem. Some of them will write petitions from wherever they are and will expect me to investigate. The petitions are not considered that way.
We have always been in Ado-Ekiti and we will continue to be in Ado-Ekiti. But what they want to achieve, we are not going to give it to them.
Beyond this, the APC lawmakers and Fayose are also at loggerheads over their unpaid salaries.
Now that I'm talking to you, honorable members have not been collecting salaries from the APC, 19 of us. The Accountant has actually instructed all the banks to peg our individual salary in account.
The governor could not have stopped their salary. We have the House of Assembly Service Commission. So whatever that has to do with their salary should be directed to the House of Assembly Commission.
The APC appears not ready to budge.
Honorable Speaker, give this undertaking, apologizing to Governor Fayose. Let them publish that undertaking that the Right Honorable Speaker signed. Even if shifts come to shove, we will walk to that house and say, okay, Olubemi, you are claiming that you are the Speaker, and we have our own Speaker. Put yourself up for election on the floor of the House. And there and then the issue will be decided. That is one thing again they are running away from.
The crisis rocking the Ekiti State House of Assembly may not end anytime soon, going by the new development. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
At the Federal Polytechnic in Ado Ekiti, protests embarked upon by the amalgamated union seeking removal of the rector of Theresa Conde has taken a new twist with polarization in the rank of the workers. The newly recruited staff accused the workers' union of plot to sack them. Here again is Rashid with more on the protest.
The protest is the second of its kind in the last 1 week. The workers of the Polytechnic have again refused to drop their demands, among which is the removal of the rector, and this time they employ spiritual means. However, the rank of the workers appears divided as they are no longer united. Those who identified themselves as new staff have pulled out, citing various reasons as they lock hands with the union leaders.
Instead of management sitting down with unions and organizing how to settle the system, they are looking for a way of dividing it. Please forget those forms. They have caused crisis already.
Not only is the management working, but the union people are trying to destabilize we new staff because they are saying that we are part of the problem, that we are part of the problem that is happening in the school.
They are particularly worried about their employment status.
Of the community and the union and the people to be happy about the progress of the institution, the progress of the community, the progress and the welfare of other people. They were saying that it is because of the overemployment. How can a reasonable somebody come to tell me that because I was employed, that is why I'm having problem?
I'm saying it now before everybody, that if management tries to retrench a single person employed legally, we will fight to the last.
Yeah. As it stands, the unions and the new staff are ready to protect their interests in their own way.
These are the medocres that cannot stand outside when they leave this door. That is why they become subject obedient to the power that be. Many of them cannot defend as certificates outside this shop.
My appeal to the union leaders is for them to please find a cordial way to resolve this problem and to make sure that the problem is brought to an end.
And with the new twist to the development, the crisis may linger for some time to come. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
A coalition of the Edo civil societies have appealed to both the state government and the management of the University of Benin to seek an amicable solution to the face of involving the two rather than allow it to degenerate. The Coordinator General of the Civil Rights Group, Ago Mobode, while addressing journalists at the Secretariat of the organization in Benin City, said they will be offering a platform for a peaceful resolution of the crisis. It will be recalled that since the demolition of 18 buildings belonging to Uniben by the state government on Monday, following a court judgment, students of the institution staged a protest where a commercial bus belonging to the state government was set ablaze, among other torched property. The reports.
Members of the civil society organizations converged on the secretariat while they sang the usual protest songs to uplift morals and send signals to government and the management of the University of Benin that they are disturbed over issues that could have been avoided on a round table. They were dismayed at what played out when the governor had to use thugs and the security men to unleash terror. Determined to pass a message, they called on the governor to tender unresolved apology to those assaulted.
This is the most lawless thing I've ever seen in my life. The cases are in court. It's not be finalized, and somebody's taking the law into his hands. No, but a chief security of the state is supposed to be carrying talks. But we have clapping hands and jubilating that everything is all right. There were 2,000 talks. 2,000 of them. The painful aspect of it, they were escorted by police.
Omobude, while addressing journalists, berates the state government over the action, just as he urged the staff and students of Uniben to desist from destruction of government-owned properties.
The then government of Sabolo Bamudia transferred to University of Benin when the institution was established. They are now becoming, in fact, it has become a subject of litigation between the university and the government of Edo State. As I speak to you now, we have credible evidence that those properties have been shared among top officials of government and their associates.
The development may have calmed frayed nerves, even though some appear unsatisfied.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News, reaching you live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll take another break and return with business, sport, and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
And in business tonight, in the face of dwindling oil reserves, the federal government has said it will intensify the search for oil in the Chad Basin area. It said the prevailing security challenges in the area would not deter it from the mission. Group General Manager of the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIN's Jonathan Oke, said in the organization's website, Nigeria will continue to explore the frontier areas of Nigeria to increase oil and gas reserves. However, the world economy continued to plummet, giving rise to spiral inflation, which consequently resulted in high costs of running operation. These challenges, he said, the country was able to maintain crude oil and condensate production at average of 2.037 million barrels per day last year. They showed a marginal increase from the 2013 average figure of 2.029 million barrels per day. NAPIN has also continued to explore new opportunities to increase reserve base and daily production. And now Coca-Cola is set to cut up to 1,800 jobs worldwide as it continues cost-cutting efforts. It reported a 14% fall in earnings for the July to September 2013. However, in a bid to save costs, Coca-Cola's Chief Executive Officer Mukhtar Kent says the firm was aiming to save $3 billion in annual costs by 2019, which would include job cuts that will affect the firm's Atlanta headquarters and its international operations. The firm is also proceeding with plans for re-enfranchising the majority of company-owned North American bottling territories by the end of 2017. The Coca-Cola has a global workforce of about 130,000. And away from that now to forex, the Naira appreciated against the dollar at both the official and parallel markets. The Naira at both segments gained 3 Naira to trade between 187 Naira and 188 Naira respectively from the 190 Naira it traded on January 5th. At the black market, it's exchanged for 292 from 295. It's sold at the beginning of the week. Also, the Naira, the Bureau de Change traded for 227 against the Euro, while at the parallel market, it went for 233 Naira to 1 Euro. And now in sports now, Super Eagles skipper Vincent Inyama on Thursday night demonstrated a spirit of sportsmanship when he showed no bitter feeling over his inability to win the 2014 African Footballer of the Year, which Cote d'Ivoire's midfielder Yaya Toure won for a record 4th time. Speaking after the elaborate and colorful awards ceremony held at the hotels and suites in Lagos, Inyama said CAF was right in their decision to honor the Ivorian once again. Inyama, however, thanked his fans and those who nominated and voted for him. According to him, he's not a bitter beating or feel bad losing to Toure, thereby congratulating Toure. However, dismissed any notion of Nigeria's failure to qualify for the forthcoming AFCON in Equatorial Guinea made him to lose the award. And now, Akwa United, centre-back Gospel Igudia has told Supersport.com that he is excited to be among the 19 Nigerian players who will face off one of the 2015 AFCON favourites, Ivory Coast, in an international friendly this month. Igudia, whose name was erroneously missing from the list of 19-man squad announced by Nigeria standing coach Daniel Amokachi on Thursday, believes the call-up would spur him on to do good things this year. He said it came to him as a surprise when he got the call to join the national team for the friendly matches. The squad include goalkeepers Chigozie Agbin Gombe United, Daniel Akpei Warri Wolves, Theophilos Afelokai Kano Pillars. Defenders include Solomon Kwambe Sunshine Start, Idris Aloma El Kanemi Warriors, Chima Akas Sharks, Nelson Obonaya Zubike Ikwebweke Warri Wolves, Bright Esieme Imba, Gospel Igudia of Akwa United, while midfielders include Joseph Nathaniel of Sharks, Charles Henlong of Giwa FC, Stanley Gimba of Warri Wolves, Rabiu Ali, Kano Pillars, Kingsley Sokari of Enyimba, and forward include Mfonudo is of Enyimba, Bola Salami, Warri Wolves, Gambo Mohammed, and Christian Obiozo of Enugu Rangers. And now Everton build on their midweek improvement against West Ham United in the FK Cup third through with Manchester City when Steven Naismith's glancing header put them level within 4 minutes of City's opener. The goal came after 74 minutes when, as Everton appealed for offside, Fernando's efforts squeezed past Coleman on the line from David Silva's cross shots. Everton responded swiftly and were level inside 4 minutes. Naismith beating Hearts to Flayton on free kick to score with a glancing header. City's failure to break the deadlock saw Pellegrini send an Aguero for Steven Jovetic after 66 minutes. The Argentine returning for the first time since suffering a knee injury against Everton in the early December. City were without Yaya Toure on an Africa Cup of Nations duty, while Vincent Kompany was on the bench along with fit against Sergio Aguero, and their presence was sorely missed against an Everton side that looked more rejuvenated and confident as the game progressed. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break. We'll be back with more stories outside Nigeria. Just stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And outside Nigeria now, the Indonesian Navy has retrieved from the seabed the tail of the Air Asia plane that crashed 2 weeks ago. Indonesian authorities confirmed the development, adding that the mango tail of the plane that crashed with 162 people on board was lifted out of the Java Sea, but without the crucial flight recorders. The 10-meter-long stretch of mostly mangled metal was finally lifted on a tugboat vessel using giant balloons and a crane, but there was no sign of the black buses. SB Subriyadi, a director with the National Search and Rescue Agency, told reporters after the tail had been inspected that the black buses are seen as important because they should contain the pilot's final words as well as various flight data. However, Subriyadi said the buses were still emanating ping signals and were believed to be buried in the seabed close to where the tail was found, about 30 meters under the surface. To aid the tracking of the signals, Subriyadi says the engines of the warships involved in the search operation will be turned off on Sunday. Search effort also involving foreign naval ships continued throughout Saturday for other parts of the plane's wreckage, as well as for the bodies of the passengers and crew. Just 48 bodies have been found so far, according to Indonesian authorities. And now some 500 Lesser troops are being deployed around Paris after 3 days of the terror in the French capital, which killed 17 people. Interior Minister Bernard Zaqueneve says all necessary measures were being taken to protect the country. Police in France are hunting for any accomplices of 3 gunmen killed by police on Friday after 2 sieges. Sergeant Genevieve confirmed about 700,000 people have taken part in marches across France to remember the victims, and that France will remain on its highest state of alert for the next week. He also promised exceptional measures for a massive unity march in Paris on Sunday, including more than 5,500 police and military personnel. Those set to attend the rally include UK Prime Minister David Cameron, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Turkish Prime Minister Ahmed Davutoglu, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy, and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Some protesters held banners that read, "I am against racists, unite for," and Chelsea in reference to Charlie Hebdo, the satirical magazine whose offices were attacked on Wednesday at night. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. Just before we go, here are some of the top stories that made headlines tonight. We told you that the bomb explosion ripped through the popular London market in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, killing 20 people, including the bomber, and injuring 18 others. We also reported that former President Olusegun Obasanjo pushed aside politics of bitterness to attend the wedding of President Goodluck Jonathan's daughter. And lastly, President of the Evangelical Church of West Africa, ECWA, Jeremiah Gado, has called on Enugu-based Catholic priest Ejike Mbaka to restrain himself from being a prophet of doom ahead 2015 general elections. Well, and that's been the show tonight. Many thanks for watching. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Frank Olape. Have a splendid night rest. Good night.